It's honor. All right, Nityanandam. So welcome to today's Living Enlightenment series on the topic of Sannyas is the ultimate gamble. So my name is Manitya Rugananda. I welcome all of you to join us today's session. So before we begin, let's invoke Swamiji's presence into the space. I request all of you to sit with your back straight. We will chant the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukaram Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvanjvatitam Prakaram Satrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Savati Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Tatpuruntam Namami. Jara Sharika, you need to mute yourself. Yes, thank you. All right, so let me begin with this new chapter. It's a very exciting chapter. And for many of you who are clueless about what is sannyas, this is going to be a grand introduction because Swamiji took a lot of effort to give the right context of sannyas. This is it's like a very long chapter. There's so much to talk about sannyas. So anyway, so for this chapter, we're going to take quite a number of sessions to complete it because each chapter is a very deep in terms of the exploration of the science of sannyas. So let me just start. I know some of you may have, come to different occasions, seeing people taking sannyas, people jumping into apasanyas, and you are like wondering, what is this sannyas? What is it so fascinating about this life of sannyas? And why do people take sannyas in the first place? Why don't they enjoy their life as a samsara? I mean, as part of samsari, as a householder, as someone who enjoyed the normal life. Why take sannyas? What is the context of taking sannyas? So in this chapter, I hope by the end of this whole series, this chapter, which I do not know how many sessions we're going to take, all of you have a better idea of not only just the science of sannyas, but give you the clarity whether sannyas is for you or not. Okay? So this is what we hope that we will cover by end of this chapter. Okay? So here we start. See, our ability to be in tune with others and existence depend entirely upon how we conduct ourselves. So it depends on the priorities we choose in life, whether you're going for a normal householder life, like having a job, children, and then you exit the world, retire and exit the world, or you decide to take a different path of serving humanity as a sannyas. So there are many paths possible. What if we do not choose? What if we don't choose at all? What if we accept things as they happen, in our life, as it happened, right? So it is time to talk about renunciation. This is understanding the context of renunciation. Renunciation is not about running away from life. Understand? Because a lot of people say, oh, I renounce everything. Let me just, because I have so much problem with this relationship, let me just renounce. I just go and become a monk. I remember in the Chinese drama, when a lot of the people, when they have failed relationship, they run away and become they take they become a monk because they are failure in relationship. They become a monk, right? 出家, right? So, but that's not the case for Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Okay, he said, see, renunciation is flowing with life without resistance. You're like a river flowing. So the Sanskrit word sannyas refer to the state of trust with existence. That means you must have immense trust with the existence that allow you to let go of all other things in life. That means so much confidence and trust and surrender in existence that you're just simply flowing with it. You do not plan, you do not doubt at all. You are just allowing it to happen because of your deep trust in existence. That is sannyas. To reach that state, you need to understand that your inner space need to come to certain level of evolution. You need to come to certain level of intelligence in order to have this ability to surrender, right? So here's sannyas. Here's a beautiful story from the life of Buddha. All of you know Buddha. So see, after enlightenment, Buddha visited many places preaching his Dhamma, right? His teaching and initiating people into spiritual life, into disciple. So on his way, he entered the Kapila Vastu, which is his birthplace, the place he was born in. And he walked on the street with his disciple. And you know that by now, when Buddha is already enlightened, he has a following of disciples who go around to village by village and places to places to preach and also to initiate people. So wearing a saffron robe, everybody watched them with great wonders. Okay, they were just in awe because you see a group of sannyasi. And Buddha's wife, Yasodhara, okay, heard the noise on the street and asked what it is, what's happening. So the maids told her that it is none other than her own husband who had returned as the Buddha, the enlightened soul. He did not go and meet him at all. Instead, he called for his son, Rahu. He called for his son. The son was born the night when Buddha decided to leave home in search of enlightenment. See, when Yasodhara was pregnant, and of course, at that time, Buddha was still a prince, and he decided to renounce all the kingdom and all that, and decided to in search of enlightenment. So before the son was born, he already left the kingdom, everything. So he asked Rahul, the son, do you see that radiant figure there who holds a begging bowl and yet looks like a king? He said, he's your father. Go and ask him for your inheritance. Go and ask your father for your inheritance, what you should inherit from him. So the young boy, having heard the mother's instruction, ran downstairs and pushed his way through the crowd to where Buddha stood. He fell at the feet of Buddha and boldly repeated what his mother told him. Okay, he said, my mom has sent me here because you're my father, blah, blah, blah. So he basically recited what the mother said. The Buddha lifted him up gently with a smile and looked at him. He simply removed his golden hem clothes. That means what the little prince was wearing, because it's a son, right? And replaced it with a saffron robe. That means he just gave him a saffron robe. The boy, 7 years of age, was given his inheritance. He was the first and the only child allowed to be into the monastic order of the Buddha. So the Buddha gave him sannyas at the age of 7, initiating him into the sannyas. So someone asked Swamiji once, if everything in life is evolving naturally by the process of evolution, right? The Darwin theory, like for instance, monkey becoming a man, from bad to good, would man not ultimately reach the level of God, the state of God? Then why need to do all this meditation, tapas and all this, and sannyas? Where then is the need for this inspiration? Why do we, if it's going to evolve at some point in time, right? That we're going to evolve into, becoming divine. So Swamiji's reply to this devotee was, look, it took 5,000 years for the monkey to become man. And it would take equally long, if not longer, for man to become divine. If you are willing to wait that long, okay, it is all right with me. On the other hand, if you can decide to live consciously with a clear understanding about life, the laws and structure of the universe and meditation, you can revolutionize the process of your evolution. The right revolution will lead to evolution, which is enlightenment. Okay, that is sannyas, the great revolution of an individual. That means individually, you go through a tremendous revolution, okay? And to live like a Paramahamsa, a liberated one, a divine enlightened being, okay? To live like enlightened being is called Paramahamsa, okay? So here's another enlightened master from India, Adi Shankara. He beautifully says, in his work called Viveka Chodamani. This is a scripture which outline Adi Shankara's philosophical work. Okay, so in this scripture, he said that for all living creatures, a human birth is rare. It is very rare to have a human birth. Okay, even rarer is to have a sattvic attitude, the goodness attitude. It means have the attitude of seeking and sattvic life, not violent and, so that is even more rarer than taking human birth. More so than the second state is to have a steadfastness on the path of spiritual activity. As I explained in the Vedas, okay, more so is to have this intensity in the seeking, okay? And of course, the rarest of all is to have a guru in your life, enlightened master happening in your life, okay? So these words had a very powerful impact in the life of Vivekananda, enlightened master from India, who lived 1,000 years after Adi Shankara. See, Adi Shankara wrote these scriptures, and this Vivekananda, he read about this, and when Vivekananda was preparing for his law exam, these words landed on him like a thunderbolt, like a lightning. It just hit him, and he could not read further. He was shaken. He just left the book and started running on the road. He started running towards his master, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, an enlightened being. While he was running, the truth of Shankara's words was ringing in his very being. He thought to himself, I have gained all these three. I have been born as a human being. I've gained the desire for moksha, the liberation, that means the seeking. I've got a great master who's an enlightened being. Then why am I still wasting my life? So that was the question he was asking. Why am I still wasting my life? Again, these words were haunting him like a great disturbance inside him, his inner space. Vivekananda went on to become enlightened and spread Ramakrishna's mission worldwide. When he realized his mission, his purpose of life, he decided, what am I doing with this law exam? I'm not here to become a lawyer. That's why he started running to his master and say, I have these three. What am I doing here? Wasting my life and studying and to become a lawyer and live like a normal human being. So that's why when he realized that, he cognized that his life purpose, the intensity of that awakening, the fire of seeking happened in him, and he became enlightened. Okay. So basically, sannyas is a path for those who want to win over themselves, who want to be free of the clutches of jealousy, anger, stress, depression, all those things that we all experience as a human being forever. That means if you want to forever be liberated from jealousy, anger, stress, depressions, all that, all this low emotion forever, sannyas is the state that you're liberated from all this. So people think that sannyas are chosen by loser, people who are a failure in society. That's why they go and become a monk. No, of course, this is not true. See, there are, of course, a small group of people. Sometimes they don't know what to do with their life. They go and take sannyas. They just feel, oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, I might as well become a sannyas. At least, I do some good to the humanity. But that is not the spirit of sanya, because then the context of taking sannyas is totally wrong. It's like you don't know what to do, then you become sannyas. Becoming sannyas is a conscious decision. Why you are taking sannyas? It's to live your life purpose of serving humanity, of serving God, serving, the divine, the cosmos. So sanya is the effort to become conscious for the first time, conscious or the mechanism that surround you as a human being. See, you are part of the whole existence, right? We're all part of this existence. Existence move with its own mechanism. It has its own cosmic law and it's the way it operates with its own music, its own symphony, orchestra. So existence is it's an independent intelligence. Falling in tune with it is the science of sannyas. When you understand how the whole cosmos operate and you're in tune with it, that is the science of sannyas. Because where you are in tune with it, you never struggle because you're just flowing with what is happening. What the lila or the game of the cosmos. Sanya is a being level relationship at the being level, at a consciousness level, being in tune with the whole of existence. That is the shortest path to success in life. So the shortest path to success in life is taking sannyas. So to hear the song of existence, you need to start moving in the right space, right? To be able to tune into this music, this melody of existence. You need to be moving in the right space. Only from that space you can listen to all this, frequency. To find that space, you need to first drop any other thing you know and listen to the song with deep awareness. So becoming aware, you need to, having that deep, restful awareness, and you'll find it. In that space, life will flow like a river, moving towards the sea. Any other path will take longer. Understand? Any other path will take longer. So when life becomes a flowing river, when you just live like a flowing river, not a stagnant water, the flowing river has to merge with the sea at some point in time because you're flowing, it's right, cruising towards the ocean. There's no other way. Sannyas is the science of flowing with the natural course of the existence and finally merging with it. Merging with the ocean or the sea is the ultimate aim of sannyas. Okay, so that's the first part of understanding sannyas. I'm going to now explain when I mean by flowing like a river. See, you understand that the river heads towards the sea, right? The river flowing from some highland mountainous range, going down to the plain and then forming different meanders and then, finally reaches the sea, right? So it does not stagnate anywhere. A sannyas heads towards his goal, which is enlightenment, liberation. He knows no distraction. Nothing will distract him from the goal of enlightenment. So the river flows blissfully, whatever be the things that get thrown in its way. So many things get thrown into the river. You see dead bodies, flower, twigs, animals, birds, all kinds of funny things get thrown into the river, but the river flows without bothering about any of these things. Similarly, a sannyasi moves blissfully, untouched by anything that comes his way. The current pulls the river over its obstacles. It gargles with a constant music moving towards the sea. So a sannyasi is not disturbed by anything outside. The cosmic intelligence pulls the sannyasi over the obstacles. The intelligence to draw it towards the ocean or the sea as he moves towards the ultimate goal. He knows not what the obstacles are. The obstacle has no meaning to him. He knows how to go beyond the obstacle. For the sannyasi, they are all stepping stones to the path of bliss. That means all these obstacles are nothing but the stepping stone to make you grow, to teach you the lessons, make you become wiser, accumulate wisdom. Whatever may be the obstacles that come in your way are just nothing but opportunity for the sannyasis to learn and become, to flower, basically to flower in higher consciousness and reaching to the ultimate goal. So during Swamiji's days of spiritual wandering, his parirajaka, right, where he go on walking by foot, length, breadth, depth, north and south of India. He spent 9 months between two locations. One is on the banks of the sacred river Ganga and the banks of the sacred river Namada. Okay, these two rivers of North India. These two rivers are in North India. So during this time, every day he would wake up before the crack of the dawn, and then he would take a bath in the river and sit by the river banks. Okay, sit by the river banks and just watch how the river is flowing. He would just watch, and the sun would be rising as he watched the river flow. And then the mind would just become so calm. Thoughts would just progressively reduced, and the verbalization inside would just be totally stopped. He'll be one with the flowing river for hours. He would just be looking at the river, but without thoughts. Okay, so that is, not only that when you watch the river continuously, you will go on dropping your fear. See, this is how he said, there are many things get thrown into the river and they're floating in the river, right? So like for instance, when you see a dead body floating in a river, I've seen that in Varanasi when I was in Varanasi with Swamiji. This is supposed to be the huh? So when you see the dead bodies floating, you clearly see that one day you also be floating like that. So what is that? Those deep embedded fear will just disappear when you start merging with the flow of the river. So like this only, you will have so many clicks when you watch whatever in the river, and you will just have, be in tune with the flowing river. See, one Zen master was asked, what is Zen? Okay, he replied, walk on. See, Zen Buddhism beautifully says, life is like a river that flows and fills each form and bursts its own limitation to expand its capacity. This is the essence of life. And sannyas. Sannyas is learning in action as life moves, not philosophizing, right? It's not a philosophy. You're not about talking about philosophy. It's about moving, living. So it is a force, not a dogma. Dogma means like some kind of concept, but it is a force that drives you. So for a real sannyasi, life simply moves in the right direction. And learning happens during the movement, not as a separate thing. So learning as you move, so that you don't get stagnant and you never, fall into the into the pit and get stuck. Okay. Here's another story which I want to share. Okay. One day there was a thief who had a son. Okay. The son asked the father, teach him the secret of the trade, which is to steal. Okay. The father agreed, and that night he took him to steal from a big house. Okay. So imagine one father took his son to go a big house to steal something. After everyone went to bed, he silently led the child into the room that contains clothes closet. That means, wardrobe, basically. He told him to go inside the closet to steal some clothes. That means, like his first lesson, go and steal some clothes, okay? As soon as the son went inside, he quickly shut the door and locked him inside. He locked his son inside. Then he went outside the house and knocked loudly onto the front door. He knocked, and the whole household woke up. He quickly ran away before anyone saw him. So he was knocking. Hours later, the son returned home, angry, shouted at him, why do you lock me in the closet? He scolded his father. He questioned his father. The father just smiled and replied, if I have not done that, you will not have had your first lesson in the art of burglary. So to the first lesson is to feel that you're locked inside in the house where you're stealing. So so that was just a story that told by Swamiji. Now, sannyas is nothing but straight away practicing the truth every moment. See, whenever you internalize a truth, you start living it. There's no philosophy in the world, but no one to follow it. Sannyas is simply a conscious decision to live with the truth immediately in your life. Okay? So a Zen master tells his disciple very beautiful, studying the truth as a philosopher is just collecting preaching material. You study, you just go preach only, right? You're just vomiting the material you just study, right? So that's what you think as, studying the truth. Remember, unless you practice constantly, your light of truth may not come out. The light within you, understanding the truth, will not come out. So practice is nothing but continuously flowing in the right direction without stagnating, without being stuck, okay? Even in stagnation, there will be movement around the obstacles, trying to find the flow again, but there's no stopping. You should not stop, okay? Here's a great story about a Japanese warrior. A great Japanese warrior decided to attack his enemy. Okay, here's the story. His enemy was only his army. That means this Japanese warrior only have an army which is 1/10 of his enemy's army. That means, let's say the enemy has 100,000 army strength. He only got 10,000, 1/10 of it. Okay, so they have more people than him. So that is the thing. But he is very sure that he will win the war. He'll win the battle. His shoulders, was not able to believe it. He's not willing to believe that he only got 1/10 of his strength of the enemy, and he's the warrior is captain, so called. He say that we'll win the war. So on the way to the war field, he went to a temple and told his men, I will toss a coin inside the temple. If heads appear, we will win. If tails appear, we will lose. Destiny holds in her hand. That means in the existence hand. So he told the soldier. The soldier agreed. Okay, go and toss the coin. So he entered the temple, offered a silent prayer, and then he tossed the coin. Heads appear, right? Which means he will win. So the soldier was so excited. Yay, we are going to win the war. They went forward and fought with all their might and courage. And true enough, they won the battle. Okay? After the battle, one of his assistants told him, no one can change the hand of the destiny. He was just saying, if the destiny is meant that we'll win the war, no one can change it, right? Then the Japanese warrior said, I suppose not. And he showed him the coin having heads on both sides. So he has a coin which shows both sides are the heads. No matter which side he tosses, he's going to win the war. Okay? So a sannyasi continuously moves with the intelligence of existence. There's no stopping. He lives in the moment, spontaneously and according to the need of the moment, which is what is called as fluidity, being fluid. Just like a river has surrendered to the flow of existence, a sannyasi's move with the intelligence of the existence, and existence takes him along with the birds, the animals to the sea. Okay? So by surrender, I don't mean inaction. Surrender means, oh, I just don't do anything. No, surrender means action with an attitude of surrender. Then the result are driven by the law of existence and simply relax into the flow of the river. So when you relax, you start responding with deep responsibility towards life and people. And until then, you only react, you never respond. Reaction is the expression of the unconscious. Okay? Respond is the expression of consciousness. Reactions is never responsibility. Sannyas is the first conscious steps towards responsibility. When you see, for sannyas to even happen, means you decided to take responsibility not just for your family, but the whole entire humanity. So that's why you're moving towards oneself and to the world. This is a little known fact about sannyas. People think sannyasi have struck the responsibility of life. No, it's not that they left the family and don't take responsibility for the family. On the contrary, their family is the whole world. It's virtually the whole world, not just the blood related. It's not blood related. It is taking responsibility for the humanity. They take up the responsibility for every individual on planet Earth. That is the spirit of sannyas. Understand? So do not think that when people take sannyas means they have renounced the family and they have decided not to take responsibility for the family. In the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, when you take sannyas means you have decided to give up, renounce, your individual, I would say, wants and needs, desire for the benefit of the humanity. So that is by taking the responsibility for humanity. That's why when Swamiji once said that even one failed sannyas is, better than how many householder, grihasta. That means even though you are married like a householder, even a sannyas that is failed, never succeed, it is still 1,000 times better than a grihasta. Understand? That means the person has gone through so much evolution in the consciousness to even become a sannyas. Okay? So next, I'm going to talk about sannyas is not about renunciation. Many people think that, oh, it's about renouncing, giving up, renouncing. But you need to understand that sannyas is not renunciation. Have a clear understanding. Sannyas has always been wrongly projected, associated with renunciation. You don't have to renounce anything, honestly. You just need to understand that you are a temporary custodian of some wealth, which is part of the existence. We don't own anything. We came naked, we came empty-handed when we were born. So by the time we leave this body, we also leave empty-handed. So basically, when you have this cognitive shift, whatever we own now, wealth, assets, money in the bank, how many zeros you have, you're just a temporary custodian. Existence has given you to take care of it temporarily, and you get to enjoy it a little bit also here and there. But you don't own all this, understand? But the problem is, we don't think it that way. We think that, oh, this is mine, I own it. And then when you think that you own it, the funny thing is that you start to get deluded by this owning. You think that you really own it. You think that it's yours, and you start to get possessive about owning what you have, all the assets, all the house, possession. You think that that is yours, which is one of the greatest delusion, honestly, a delusion from existence, that we think that we own, that we think that we have all that we have accumulated in life is part of ours. This is one of the greatest maya we need to break on the path of becoming a sannyas. Okay, so if you take a cognitive shift that whatever I own, it is, I'm just a custodian of some wealth, which is part of existence anyway. So just as you are here as well, then you don't need to renounce because you never possess it in the first place. So even if you are part of, you have that part of the wealth, you have to part the wealth. It means even you have to let go of this wealth because it's not yours. You're just a custodian. It means you're just taking care of the money. You will not feel that you're giving away or you're losing it. right? You feel that it was never mine. I'm just, you know, uh, taking care of it for existence. So the problem starts with the attitude of possessing. It's mine, mine, mine. The idea of me, mine, mine, mine. When you think about me, and mine, that's where the attitude of possessiveness, trying to possess something, start to derail you from this, you know, attitude of renunciation. Okay, so once Swamiji read a beautiful Zen book. It says, mentally give away everything that you think belongs to you. Then one day, in if it is really not there, you will never suffer. That means, imagine, let's say you have owned so many things in your life right now, okay, and you mentally give it away, okay, give away your bank balance, give away your house, your asset, give away your beautiful clothes, your Gucci bag, all your branded stuff, give away, give away. When it's no longer there, you never feel there is a deep suffering, right? So this this can be done as a 10-minute meditation. Later on, we'll do this meditation, okay? I'm going to make you give away all you possess mentally. It can be a very powerful impact on the attitude of possessing. Learning to how to let go of whatever you possess. Okay, so we'll do that later on. So let me just continue with this part. So neither does a sannyasi need to renounce the world, nor does a sannyasi need to be afraid of renouncing. Just the plain understanding that existence gives and takes at the right moment is enough. You know that existence gives you to enjoy, but he will also take it away, right? But when you think that it's yours, when it's taken away, you cry like a baby, you go into deep suffering. Hmm? In the first place, it's not even yours. You're just a custodian. You're being asked to take care, you know, during that period. So then you know that what is happening is the right thing for the moment, and life is flowing as it should be. This creates a renunciation, okay? It is just a gap, a break in the attitude of possessing, nothing else. It has been wrongly used in the context of sannyas. So sanya is not renunciation. Sanya is just about, you know, have this clarity about possessiveness. What you possess, what is, there's nothing belong to you. You don't belong to anything, right? So here's another story that Swamiji's talk about. Two monks. Two monks were traveling together. One monk strongly believed in acquiring wealth, accumulation. He practiced spirituality through it, accumulates things, you know, and learning to be spiritual. On the other hand, the other monk followed the path of renunciation. They were discussing the two ways of life. You know, one is acquiring, one is renunciation. As they were discussing, it became nighttime. They reached a river that they had to cross. They had to cross the river to go to the other side to rest, find a resting place. So the one who believed in renunciation did not have money, right? Because he already renounced everything, so he had no money with him. Then he said, "We don't have money to cross the river. Let's spend the night here, and someone will take us to that river in the tomorrow morning. When we wake up, someone will see us and they will ask us, and we'll just cross the river." Okay, so this is the attitude of the monk who have renounced. Then the other monk who believed in accumulating replied, no, this is not possible. We'll be eaten up by wild animals if we spend the night here. I have some money with me. Let us pay the boatman and cross the river. Okay? So as they crossed the river safely, he asked his companion, "Now do you understand the value of money?" So the second person said, "Now you know why we need to carry money. See, this is so important. Otherwise, you'll be living in that place. If I too have been a man of renunciation just like you, what will happen to us?" So he was questioning his friend. Then the first monk replied, "It is your renunciation that brought us across the safety. You renounced the money, you parted the money across so that we can cross the river. You are also renouncing." So that was what he retorted to that guy who said that, you know, see how important they have money. If you don't part, we'll never be able to even go to the other side of the river in safety. So renouncing is having without the idea of having, parting without the idea of parting. You enjoy, but you don't feel you possess it, okay? Otherwise, by merely renouncing outer wealth, you will not gain anything. You will only feel the pain of sacrificing the mind. My, this is my, why am I renouncing? Why should I sacrifice? So sanya is not escaping from mind. It is going beyond the mind. Not this mind, is what is considered as mind, okay? Possessive. So that is only possible through a proper understanding. If you renounce with understanding, this is okay. Otherwise, the me, my, this my will simply persist wherever you go. Everywhere you go, you try to grab, this is mine. This is my chair. This is my food. This is my space. You know, everywhere you go, you will just be, you know, trying to possess something. Not only that, if you renounce the idea that you are renouncing yours, it becomes the right action, but for the wrong reason. By merely renouncing outer world, you can never be a sannyasi. Doesn't mean that, oh, I drop everything, I become sannyas. No. If you still carry the whole attitude of my, even if you become sannyas, you'll still be fighting with another monk on the water, kamandalu, you know. This is my kamandalu. This is my clothes. This is my what, you know. You'll be still fighting on small things. Understand? Sannyas is a change of the inner mental setup, not a change in the outer world mental setup, material setup, okay? Not what you're seeing outside, not just changing what you see outside, your material setup. It is changing your internal mental setup. Renouncing outer wealth to become a sanya is like doing the right action. Yeah, it looks like you're taking sanya for the right reason, but actually right action, but for the wrong reason. Understand? Right action, wrong reason, still missed it. You still missed the truth. Still a missing when you do the right action and for the wrong reason. Here's a story. I know some of you may have heard this story. I thought it was one of the funniest story, okay? So there were three men in a mental asylum. That means the men who had gone mad. One day they went to the doctor and said, they're ready to go home. I want to be discharged. The doctor was surprised. Oh, ready? Okay, come with me. We have a small test to see if all of you are well enough to leave this place and live safely in the world. So he took them to a swimming pool, but there is no water in the pool, so it's an empty pool, okay? He told the first man to jump into the pool and swim. Okay, now jump inside and swim. The first man jumped and broke his ankle, okay? The doctor told him he's not ready to be discharged, okay? Then he told next to the second man to jump. The second man also jumped and sprained his wrist, broke the wrist. The doctor told him too that you're not ready to be discharged yet. Then the third man was told to jump. The third man refused to jump. No, I will not do it. I will not jump. The doctor was very happy. Oh, finally someone is smart enough to know that you should not jump into an empty pool, and declared that the man was cured. Okay, you can go home now, because he doesn't want to jump. When the man was signing the paper to leave the asylum, the doctor curious and asked, hey, tell me, why did you decide not to jump into the pool? The man replied, how can I jump? I don't know how to swim. It is not that he saw that there's no water. It means he's still also not mentally sound. Right? He did the right action, but for the wrong reason, still missed it, you know? It's still going to be a problem in society. So anyway, same thing, if you remember this example, you can do the right action. Okay, I will not jump, but for the wrong reason, you are still not going to be in the right place, right? So understand right action, but for the wrong reason, still missed it. Renouncing wealth to become a sannyasi is doing the right action. You renounce wealth, you don't want all these, frills in life, but for the wrong reason. Wealth and sannyasis are not mutually exclusive. Understand? It's not like you go on spiritual path, you have to renounce your material life. No. In fact, sannyas is the art and science of creating wealth flawlessly. When you are sannyas, you just create wealth like that, but you're not attached to it. You're liberated from all this wealth. Okay, so that is sannyas. You should know one fact: the highest percentage of India's gold is sitting inside temples and monastery. It means the place of worship. In Southern India alone, there are many temples with golden towers. Just imagine, when you understand the reality or truth of sannyas, you will not escape from wealth. Okay, all this temple is like, the priests and all this, they're handing great wealth. It's not like, they live like a pauper. They are handing great wealth. They're all made of gold, right? And all the jewelry worn by the deities, they are real stuff. They are not like fake jewelry, right? So so you cannot escape from wealth. You will be honest. You will have honest respect for wealth. You respect wealth as an energy, and energy, a flowing energy, which is like goddess Lakshmi, right? Lakshmi is a wealth, a currency. The only thing is that you will never be caught up in it. You will not be stuck in it. You know how to play with the energy and never get stuck with that idea of wealth. Okay, you will never internalize it. There will be no space for wealth in your inner space. The wealth will just come and you use it, and that's it. You go and move on, because there's higher purpose in life. So we will never suffer because you have wealth or no wealth, because it has never been an important part of your existence. So if you read the Vedic scripture, you see that they always talk only about abundance in life, abundance, okay? They never teach escaping from it. So sannyas is not about escaping, it's about abundance. Everything is abundance, right? So you never, they teach loosening the attachment over possession. Just loosen your, unclutch from the, the attachment to wealth, or renouncing it. Not renouncing or hating it. Not like, I hate it, I suffer so much with the money, I hate it. No, that is still an incompletion with wealth. It's about completion with the wealth, and no more attachment with the possessiveness. So in sannyas, is seeing the vast abundance of life as one whole, and therefore not being attached to your small little possessions. It is knowing that wealth is also a manifestation of existence and not the essence of life itself. It is just part of existence, but it's not the whole essence of life. Once this is known, this click inside you, this cognition land inside you, it doesn't matter how much wealth you're lying with, right? You're living with. It doesn't matter. You remain untouched by it, whether you have 100,000 bank balance, or you have only 1,000 in bank balance. It makes no difference, because you're untouched by all these numbers. Remaining unattached to the wealth has been described as renouncing in the ancient years. In the ancient years, it is called renouncing. See, the sannyas who renounces wealth physically may do so as a choice, not because of any definition of a sannyasi. A real sannyasi is the one who lives beyond wealth. They're gone beyond wealth. Okay? When he has gone beyond wealth, it doesn't matter whether he has it or not. If at all he physically renounced it, it is out of deep understanding of the whole thing, not out of failure or compulsion. See, you see Swamiji, he can live simply. When when he's living like a sannyas, before he took on the responsibility of, the mission, he was just living with, a few kavi and, a begging bowl and a walking stick. He was just living like that for months, years. And that's how he lived as a true life as a sannyas. But when he assumed the responsibility, he lived with abundance. He built the whole entire sangha with his hard work. All that he built from all those years of hard work, tyaga. But he's not touched by it. He's there. Yeah, he built. And even when he left India, when he's forced to exit, India by the anti-Hindu forces, he just let go. The kingdom he built, he was able to just let go, because it means nothing to him. Because the real wealth lies inside him. He can just rebuild again and again and again. All right. So that's why For a sannyas, all these things is nothing, there's no attachment. It's not that they fail, then they say, oh, let me renounce. No, it is because of the clarity of non-possessiveness, right? So sanya is not suicide, it is life. How to live life with intensity. Sannyas is living with tremendous beauty, grace, inside and outside of you. So there is a Persian mystic, a poet, Rumi. Some of you may have read a lot about Rumi. He's quite famous. A lot of people enjoy his quotes and all that, his poem, right? So here he say, a sage once went outside to plow his field and saw a peacock busily destroying his own plumage with his beak. That means the peacock is destroying, okay? The sage could not bear the sight of self-destruction. It means the peacock is like attacking himself, okay? And that two of the most beautiful birds, can you imagine the beautiful peacock with all the beautiful feathers, but he's pecking on his own feathers and all that. He told the peacock to stop what he's doing. Hey, stop what you're doing, okay? Stop destroying yourself. The peacock told him, I will not stop. My plumage that you admire so much is a source of danger to my owner. Hunters follow me all the time because of this. Because he looks so beautiful, the hunters try to hunt him. And my owner has trouble keeping me because of this, right? So it is better that I remove my feathers with my own beak. It means he's trying to pluck his feather with his own beak, right? And make myself look ugly so that they will not pursue me anymore. So that's what the peacock tried to do, right? It's like, I destroy myself, I make myself ugly again, so that nobody will come hunting for me, right? Understand, outer beauty and wealth are not enemies to the path of sannyas. They are complementary. Sannyas adds inner wealth and beauty to your outer wealth and beauty. It gives us the intelligence to handle the outer wealth and beauty without any suffering related to it, okay? So that is the understanding of renunciation. Sannyas is not renunciation. Now we're going to touch on one last topic on live in reality before we enter into the meditation. So sannyas is about living in reality. Sannyas is not a game of one world against another, like material world versus spiritual world. It's not, like mutually exclusive. You want this, you cannot have this. You want spiritual life, you have to give out a material life. No, it's not like that, okay? First thing you need to understand, there is no two worlds. There's no such thing as material world and spiritual world. There's only one world. Second, sannyas is not a doctrine. It is a certain attitude of living in the world without suffering. If you choose not to suffer, you are like sannyas, even though you may not be wearing kavi. If you choose that your attitude is, I will not suffer anymore, your inner space becomes sannyas. No more suffering touches you. Then, even though you are not initiated as a sannyas, you're not wearing the kavi and doing all that, your space is already that of a sannyas, okay? It is an understanding of how to live in the best possible way. It is conscious decision to live life as close to the reality as possible. Living in reality is sannyas, understand? Because living in reality is living in the most optimum way. Because living reality is flowing with existence, then you will not suffer. So what is living in reality? Living in reality, one person asked from you a question. You say that currently our waking state is not reality. It is also a dream. But how can it be? See, whenever I sleep, I come back to the waking state, we find the same thing around me, same house, same wife, same belongings. People are the same. So when I go to the dream state, things in the dream are not the same. So obviously we can conclude the dream is a dream and waking state is reality. So that was the argument given by a devotee to Swamiji. Carefully understand what I'm saying, I'm going to say now. So here's a catch. You need to catch this. What you see you out in the outer way in the waking state, you may think this is the reality. This is where you missed. He said sometimes in one night's dream itself, you will dream 10 or 12 years of your life. Am I right? For instance, you will start with your college, and by the time you come out of your sleep, you have finished your marriage, your kids, everything. You will have lived something like a decade overnight, right? You will not stop at, or you see yourself as a student, but you go on dreaming and dreaming, and you see yourself working, or you see yourself, in some kind of life stage, right? So what does it mean? Start questioning. It means that you have lived at least 10 years of your life in 10 hours. Let's say you sleep for 10 hours, right? But when you are dreaming the dream, you don't feel that you are doing a fast forward. You don't feel that you're living that 10 years. You're very clear that you're living your 10 years of life in your own pace. But when you wake up suddenly, you realize that you spend only 10 hours in the sleep, right? I just slept, but I felt like, I lived 10 years in the dream. So now understand, in the very same way, at any moment you may wake up and feel that you have not spent 17 years on planet Earth, that you spend only 7 hours on planet Earth. Okay? So he said, let me explain. Yesterday was let's say for instance, yesterday was 11th of May. Today is 12, right? Okay, let us understand that between, let's say, 9th of May to 11th of May, 9 to 11 May, you dream. Let's say one night you dream, okay? So between 10th of May to 11th of May, you dream as if you live for 1 decade, 10 years, okay? In the 10 hours of sleep, you dream that you are studying in a college and you fall asleep a few hours every day and come back. For the whole 10 years, you can't be without falling asleep, right? That 10 years in your dream. So you dream that you are falling asleep as well as a regular life. Now, understand an important thing. In these 10 years of life, in one continuous dream, from the 10th of night and to the 11th morning, you live 10 years of your life. Many times you will have fallen asleep and come back as part of the life in that dream itself. Within this dream, whenever you came back from sleep, you were with the same identity you were before going to sleep. Am I right? That is, in your dream, if you went to sleep as a college student, you wake up as the same college student, right? So that is why starting with college, you move to the next step, the next step, the next step, and so on, without any confusion. So what does that mean? Just like in the waking state now, you're living now, you came back to the same identity every time. So coming back to the same identity every time, you say that, oh, the same belongings, same house, same wife, same children, etc., is not the skill to prove that it is a permanent reality. Correct? So what does that mean? It means that just falling asleep and coming back to find the same bank balance, car, house, wife, children also does not mean you are in reality. You know to catch this, okay? Because from this moment you will catch this, you know that whatever we see in the outer is just another dream. This is a very important understanding. This understanding can lead us to such a sharp analysis of your life. You will just simply wake up. You'll get a clarity on so many things. You will not be deluded anymore. You will not want to basically continue this dream. You realize this dream is futile. If you understand this one concept and everything is Maya, illusion, you will not renounce anything. You will just live with everything without being disturbed. You know, this is just Maya and you know how to handle the Maya. Now, just like this 10-year dream happened in 10 hours, there may be a different calendar where your 70 years on planet Earth, for instance, maybe just 7 hours in somebody's who is in a different space. Remember, Somjito, we have many different vertical time zone, right? So some being in that vertical time zone is living in this space and having that dream. What makes you think that you're not that person having that dream? Somebody is having that dream in this plane. So if the number of thoughts per second is more, you will feel as if you're living for longer time. For example, if you're sitting with someone who you're completely in tune with, you feel like time moves so fast. Oh, how come so fast? I have to go now. But if you're sitting with someone you're really angry or cannot connect with, you feel like even 5 minutes feel like a torture. You could be watching her. Can you get over it? Let me just get over it. Every second feels like a eternity. You become restless, right? So that's why in Vedic tradition, the unit of time is called Shatna. It is not the clock moving, ticking. It's the Shatna. It means it's measured by the chronological, it's not measured by the chronological second. It's measured by how you experience time internally. Okay, that means the Shatna means the gap between one thought to another thought, the gap. So according to the Western calendar, your 1 second and my 1 second is one and the same. But according to Vedic calendar, your one shakna and my one shakna would be very different depending on how much you're able to unclutch and go into the silence. This is because the gap between one thought to the next thought, for me, it will be very different from anyone, right? It's like, for instance, Buddha's one shana could be 5,000 years, but for a human being, it could be micro millisecond. So that is not chronological time; it's psychological time. How your psychology, your mental layer experience time. So thoughts per second we refer to as TPS. So now in the dream state, you have too many thoughts, you have high TPS. When you have very little thought, is low TPS. So in a waking state, a medium number of TPS. That's why it seems like time is moving fast. For the celestial being, people who are living in the higher dimension, the TPS is very low. That's why their 1 day is 1 year for them. Okay, you can see in the Vedic calendar, they are like they live in low TPS. So the one 1 day is like 1 year for our time. So if you bring down your TPS constantly, you enter into samadhi, turiya state, merging with the divine consciousness. That is reality. The reality when you touch samadhi, the divine consciousness. That is only when you bring down your TPS consciously. Okay, you understand what is reality. Okay, so let's come back to the dream. We talk about waking state. In waking state, when your TPS is lower than the dream state, you realize the dream state is not reality. Am I right? But when you are in the dream state, did you realize that you're not in reality? No, you felt that it is real because you're going through everything realistically. You responded to everything. You had nightmares. You have all the regular problems. Only when your TPS is brought down in the waking state, do you realize that the dream state is an illusion. Now, same way, to understand your waking state itself is another illusion. You just need to bring down your TPS. More and more silence. You come to Turiya state, the fourth state, the awakened state. Then suddenly you realize this, what we're seeing now is just another illusion. Okay? In the dream state, your TPS, say it's 1,000 thoughts per second. In the waking state, it may be 100. In the samadhi, is zero thought. Because it's reduced TPS in the waking state, you understand the dream state is an illusion. In the same way, when you reach samadhi, when you experience samadhi, you understand this reality, this waking state is just an illusion. As of now, your inner space is occupied with all the experience in the waking state. That's why you never experience samadhi state. Understand? So one more thing, when you spend more time to meditate, to bring down and experience samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi, you will understand the waking state we're living now is just another dream. Okay? So now, are you ready for the meditation? So I'd like all of you to go and take your IBAN. We will have a short meditation to make you renounce whatever you possess. Hmm? All right. So is everybody ready? Let's do this meditation. It's going to be fun. So someone still want her Gucci bag. Come on. All right, sit now with the back straight. Come. Get ready to enter into this beautiful meditation. In fact, you can do this meditation every day yourself. Okay. The moment you wake up in the morning, it's a very beautiful meditation to make you much more aware how to let go. Okay. This whole attitude of possessiveness. So now sit by yourself. Remember, every morning as soon as you wake up, you just sit on your bed and you're going to do this meditation. So I'll guide you through this as the first time. And then you can do that for the next, few days in the morning and see how the impact. So close your eyes and visualize that all the things belongs to existence. All things, all your things that you own, your house, your laptop, your money, even your children, everything that you so-called you possess belongs to existence. None of it is yours. But existence is so graceful. It has allowed you to have it now and enjoy it. So feel the gratitude flowing in you towards existence. Oh, thank you for letting me enjoy while I'm still in this body, having this, good time and enjoying. So if offering this gratitude towards existence that, yeah, my life has been good. I have a beautiful cottage in Finland where I can escape to, and or I have a nice apartment, private apartment in Singapore where I can live, comfortably in a private condo, or I have a house over my head, a roof over my head. I never have to worry about not having a home, whatever may be. Feel grateful, like this overflowing of gratitude inside you towards existence, that all those belongs to existence and you are actually enjoying it. Experience this strongly and clearly. You will see suddenly the whole thing take a 180 degrees turn. You wonder why what is really yours in the first place. Understand? Only when you start to experience this space of gratitude and whatever you think is yours is none other than the things that belong to existence, then you start to become grateful. Whatever you have is coming from the grace of existence. And we are just mere caretaker. And along with being a custodian, we are also given the opportunity to enjoy it. So whatever possession that you have, imagine, you can take a mental listing of all that you own right now at this moment, where you think is mine, M-I-N-E, mine. None of it is yours. That is the truth. A cosmos is so graceful, it allows you to have it. When it's time to let go, just let it go gracefully, without attachment. When it's time to let go, just let it go unclutched. Then there will be no suffering, no pain. When you have so much attachment, thinking the maya of possessiveness, that's where it starts the suffering. So the very space of sannyas begin with gratitude. Only you experience gratitude as overflowing, energy, your inner space. The inner space is right for sanya. Society has taught us to possess, own, acquire, accumulate more and more and more. It never teaches us how to basically have the right context about possession. That's why whenever things are taken away from us, we enter into great suffering, pain, hurt. When you understand this context of non-possessiveness, whatever is yours, so-called yours, you're just a temporary custodian, and you're just simply given the opportunity to enjoy. you will simply drop this attitude of possessiveness. You will let go your money in the bank. The first inequality of a sannyasi is non-possessiveness and a deep gratitude, whatever has been showered in your life by existence for you to enjoy. That is the first inner space that makes one the space of sannyas. To give up all that you possess and with the cognition that it belongs to the cosmos. Then whatever is taken away from you, you never suffer. All right. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All of you can now slowly open your eyes and Majanana, you say, I still want my Gucci back. Ayo, don't kill anymore lah, Gucci bag. I already moved away from Gucci bag to mesh bag already so many years ago. No more leather bags. Okay, so how was the experience? Quickly, anyone?
I want to share.
Yeah.
I feel like I cannot let go like so many things. Then I feel like my heart chakra is blocked. Then I saw Swamiji in front. Then I see so many people queuing to give all the things to Swamiji.
And then?
Then after that, it's turned me. Then I feel like I don't feel like giving to Swamiji, but then Swamiji look at me. Then I say, okay, I just give. Then after I give to Swamiji, I feel my heart chakra is slightly released and I feel lighter.
Okay. Yes. See, when you are able to give, to the divine, you realize that you don't have to possess. I think we have to conclude the session now. The next session, Jaya is going to start the Bhagavad Gita, if I'm not wrong. So I suggest all of you please share in the group. She's going to enter to the Bhagavad Gita reading. So thank you all for joining. Let's conclude with a Purna mantra so that they can start the session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Saubam Bhagavashi Nityananda Paramashiva Paraka Paramastu Om Nityanandam. Thank you all for joining. Please share your experience.